Hello, my name is Ben. Today I'm here to talk about the legalization of marijuana. There have been a lot of issues in 2020, such as COVID-19 outbreak and the climate change, which means the global warming is getting worse rapidly than the past. However, I think the legalization of the marijuana is one of the important issues in 2020. To be more specific, the legalization of marijuana in non-medical, which means in recreational usage. For instance, there's a referendum in New Zealand on October 17th, and there people will vote for a legalization of marijuana in recreational usage. This shows how does people think about legalization of marijuana recently. Then, what is marijuana? Why does the world deal with this issue? Cannabis, dope, weed are the other name of the marijuana. Marijuana, among other names, is a psychoactive drug from the cannabis plant. As you can see in this photo, cannabis plant looks similar to maple leaves. And cannabis can be used by smoking, vaporizing, and tincturing. Many people think a cannabis plant is exactly equal to the marijuana, but that's not. That's the wrong information. Marijuana is classified to the drug because of the substance called THC, that is tetrahydrocannabinol, which can cause the hallucination. In the seed, stem, and root of the cannabis plant, it does not contain, or it contains very little amount of THC, so it does not classify to a drug. But in the leaf of the cannabis plant, it contains enough amount of the THC can cause the hallucination, so that classified to a drug. So easily, you can think marijuana is same as leaf of the cannabis plant. However, there are a lot of adverse effects when people inhale or smoke the marijuana. The major adverse effects of the marijuana is addiction, hallucination, and people can become high, and therefore not being properly to control their body. Firstly, people can form the addictive habit when they inhale or smoke the marijuana. About 1 to 10 people who ever tried marijuana had formed the addictive habit. That means they cannot stop even the marijuana harms their relationship, jobs, health, and finance. Another effect, it could go into withdrawal, which can cause irritable, restless, unable to go to sleep, and uninterested in eating. Secondly, it can feel hallucination. It will cloud your sense and the judgment. The hallucination can be different depending on how did they took and how much did they took in the past. Therefore, it can heighten your senses, such as colors seem brighter and distorted time sense, and the driving can be more dangerous. Thirdly, people can become high. The main psychoactive ingredient, THC, stimulate the brain part, which produce the chemical substance called dopamine, which make us feel euphoric and relaxed. When people smoke, the THC get into people's bloodstream really fast and get your high in a second. Perhaps the most popular use of the marijuana is a capacity to reduce pain. This effect is attractive to cancer first to control their chronic pains. In today's world, countries use the marijuana in either medical or the recreational usage. Some countries such as China, Denmark, and Japan, marijuana is illegal in either medical and recreational usage. In other countries such as Greece, New Zealand, and Norway, it is legal for the medical usage but not in the recreational usage. There are countries such as South Africa and Canada, which is legal for both medical and recreational usage. So, what do other people think about it? On the positive side, they said traffic deaths and arrests for DUIs That means driving under the influence may decrease. The traffic deaths in Washington and Colorado, the state they legalized the marijuana, the traffic deaths is reduced around 11%. And the Benjamin Hansen, who studied traffic deaths post-medical marijuana legalization, he said public safety does not decrease with the increased access to the marijuana. In addition, crime goes down when marijuana is legalized. According to the FBI crime statistics, violence crime in Washington, also the state the marijuana is legalized, is decreased in the year after when they legalized the marijuana. On the other hand, the negative side said marijuana harms the health of users and people around them. Furthermore, marijuana is addictive and dependence on the drug will increase with legalization. I personally agree with the legalization of marijuana and recreational usage because on the one hand, marijuana is the weakest drug that we can find around the world. According to the many institutions' research, marijuana is not harmful for our body. This is a table from the NIDA, which is National Institute on Drug Abuse in America. In terms of dependency, marijuana is recorded lower than alcohol and caffeine. In addition, cannabis recorded the lowest in withdrawal, while alcohol recorded the highest. In addition, the higher proportion of some carcinogens than smoke increased and has very high proportion of the fine particles. Unlike cigarettes come with filter, when people smoke the marijuana, they don't have filter when they smoke. That means they can absorb smoke deeper and tar will accumulate more in their lungs. Theoretically, it seems cannabis more harmful than the cigarette in the same amount. However, in terms of daily amount of smoking, it is incomparable. In addition, cigarettes has a tobacco-related cancer, while cannabis does not have any of the disease that related to the cannabis. Also, there's no recorded death cases which caused by marijuana, while 2.5 million of death cases by alcohol and tobacco per year. Additionally, it can boost the economy. Marijuana industry for adults and medical usage in America could exceed $24 billion in revenue by 2025. Marijuana industry generated $7.2 billion in economic activity in 2016 and added millions of dollars in federal taxes paid by marijuana businesses. For example, a study by the University of California Agricultural Issue Center estimated the legal marijuana market in California could generate $5 billion annually. Also, in Colorado, marijuana brings 3 times more tax revenue than the alcohol, raised $78 million in the first fiscal year after the legalization of the marijuana and recreational usage, and $129 million the second fiscal year. I think people who don't want to legalize the marijuana because they have a prejudice side. The marijuana was forbidden for a long time ago with cocaine and heroin, so they cannot see in the obvious side. And unobvious side, marijuana has an advantage, like it can boost the economy and the weakest drug, as I mentioned. I highly recommend to all of you who listen to my speech for the legalization of marijuana and recreational usage for pleasure, like alcohol and a cigarette. Thank you for listening.